Hey moms, and welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Mary and I do makeup for moms. Today's video is the first episode in the How to Apply Makeup for Beginners in Steps series. In this series, I'm going to show you all I know and all what I do in every step of makeup application, from foundation to concealer to eyeshadow to eyebrows to bronzer, highlighter, blush, contour, everything that I know. In this series, episodes about my favorite products are included as well. For example, today I'm talking about how to apply foundation, concealer, setting powder, compact powder. So next episode is going to be my favorite products, my favorite foundation, powder, concealer, etc. I hope you enjoy the video and like it. If you do, thumb up, don't forget, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of this series. And let's get started. You can see every bit of imperfection on my face. We're gonna fix that in just a bit. Let's just touch base on prepping the skin for foundation. First of all, you have to have your skin clean. You can't apply makeup on dirt, or even if you can't see it, it's there, it's in your pores, and treat her well. Don't do that. That's the first thing. Second thing is moisturizer. Even if you have oily skin, still you need to moisturize before applying your foundation. Then primer. Primers are confusing. I know that. A lot of my friends are confused by it. A lot of variations out there and they don't know what to get, what's like suitable for their skin. I would say know your skin first, then decide which way you're gonna go. If I narrow down the variations of primers out there, I would put them, I would say 4 groups. First one is the smoothing primers or pore filling primers. Usually those are mattifying. If they are not, there are primers for mattifying, and those are for the people with pores in the T-zone and they get shiny in this area, so they need to mattify this area. There are the hydrating primers, and those are for people with dry, normal to dry skin, and you would put it in smooth areas or areas that don't have texture, pores. So you apply hydrating primers so the foundation sit well on your skin and you have a hydrating base for your skin, so treat her well. And the last one are the glowy, dewy, illuminating, all this like synonyms for the same thing, and those are, I guess, for the extremely dry skin, so they need some kind of a glow going on, so they apply this kind of primer. So you know your skin, then choose what's best for you. For me, I have combo to normal skin, so T-zone here, it's a little bit oily and pore city happening over here. A lot of pores on the side of my nose and in this area. And I have normal skin on my cheeks. It's normal, I need hydrating primer for my cheeks, and of course pore filling and smoothing, a little bit mattifying on the T-zone area. For foundation, you need to know what do you want out of your foundation. You want to cover completely, like full-on coverage, or you want just a little bit of coverage. You have dry skin, so you need something to make you a little bit glowy. Decide what you want out of your foundation, then decide which foundation to get. Now for me, for everyday foundation, because pretty much I apply makeup every day, I need something not so much of a full coverage. I need something to match my face to my body, because as you can see, if I do the shoulder look, it's way lighter than my body. And I don't self-tan or anything. It's just summer. I have almost daily pool play dates, so I'm in the sun most of the time. For my body, it gets darker and never gets back to its actual color, so I keep getting darker and darker every year. I don't know what's the deal with it, but my body is much darker than my face. So for me, for everyday foundation, I'm not looking for a ton of coverage, but I need something that matched my face to my body, and a little bit of skincare ingredients in it. Hyaluronic acid would be nice. Anything like to feel good applying it every day. For this video, I am just going to show you the application, cause stay tuned, subscribe. Next video, I'm gonna share with you my favorite foundations and primers, and maybe concealers and powders too, because that's what we're gonna do today, the foundation routine. So foundation, concealer, powder, and of course primers. Now let's get into the actual application. I'm going to start by applying my primer to the T-zone, and this one is the pore filling and mattifying one. And if you see me looking this way, it's my mirror over here. And I'm applying a hydrating primer to my cheeks. I will let this sink a little, and I will be using the L'Oreal foundation sponge. And I have a whole video on brushes and sponges that I prefer using, and I can link this down below. I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hands, and I'm gonna take off this earrings cause I'm actually gonna apply it on my ears. I know, weird, but I don't want any demarcation lines. So I start with the cheeks first. And you always go below your jawline. You don't want a demarcation line where you see the end of your foundation at the beginning of your actual skin. So you want to go down. And if you have your hair pulled back, all your face and your ears are showing. And I'm not trying to be in style right now. I just showered and I was too tired to style my hair, so I did that. I hope you don't mind. So at this point I have my hair pulled back. I take it to my ears and behind my ears and down my neck. For the forehead, you need to go as close as you can to your hairline over here, even if you're gonna push your hair back just like that. Apply just a little bit to my neck over here. I even sometimes take it to my chest, just a bit. Don't forget this area over here. Let me give you the shoulder again. Now we're matching, right? I know I look much darker than when I started the video, but I am matching my body over here. Now let's talk concealer. I'll be using the mirror from my palette so I don't keep looking down and I look straightforward to you. And I'll take a concealer over here. That's my favorite concealer of the moment. Stay tuned, next video I will share with you all my favorites. And as you can see, I already started applying. You apply it at the tear duct and then you take a straight line down to your nose. And that's a concealer, and part of it is contouring as well, because you're drawing the attention to the center of the nose by doing that and make it look narrower. So you take your concealer with a straight line down and then you draw the famous upside down triangle. I'll do the same thing for the other eye. Again, from the tear duct, straight line. You didn't see the concealer, did you? Don't cheat. And by doing those wings, you are giving the illusion that everything is lifted. We're working against gravity over here, so we need to lift stuff up, and that's why you do this triangle up to your temples, almost. And I'm going to highlight the center of my face. I don't have too big of a forehead, so I highlight more than I contour because I don't want it to look even smaller than it is. And I highlight my chin as well, and it works as highlight and as well to conceal this situation over here. Now for blending, I use the other side from the L'Oreal sponge, and I start with my chin and then my forehead. I let my eye concealer sit a little bit because, believe it or not, when you leave it to settle, you get more coverage out of it. So I'm gonna blend my chin and my forehead, then talk about the under eye. Now, if I didn't mention before, for the foundation, you never swipe your blender or sponge or anything you're using. You tap. You like press the product into your skin. You don't swipe, because if you swipe it, you're gonna move it around. You're not gonna help it settle in your skin. So you need to do that tapping motion. Now for the under eye concealer, the lighter the touch and the tap, the more coverage. If you go in like, okay, let's punch ourselves, no. Very, very gently. First, this area is so sensitive, you need to be as gentle as you can with it. Secondly, when you tap really gently, you get more coverage. You don't move the product too much, so you get the most out of it. So let's do that. And oh, one other thing. You go back and forth. You don't just go in one direction, either out or in. You go in and out, in and out. And this way it creases the least. It's still gonna crease. I haven't seen any product that doesn't crease. If you have lines, it's going to crease. But by doing the back and forth kind of movement, you get the least creasing. Area, I look up, and when I go to the inner corner, I look the other side. Let your eyes work with you when you're blending. For baking or setting, I use the same powder. If I'm baking, I'm just gonna apply a little bit more. If I'm setting, I will apply a lot less and just stamp it into the under eye area. First thing you have to make sure of before applying your powder, whether you're setting or you're baking, is that you don't have any creases. Everything has to be smooth, because remember, you get what you set. If you're setting creases, you're getting creases. If you're setting smoothness, you will get smoothness. So I have the Real Techniques in my left hand and the L'Oreal on my right hand. I make sure it's smooth. I make the alien face. And bake. This powder, it's amazing how it erases the pores. And I'm not gonna mention it. Watch next video. That's setting, that's baking. And I'm going to set the center of my face as well. While this baking, I'm going to do my eyebrows, so I don't just sit and wait for it to finish baking. No, I do something in between. That's what we do, moms. We use time to do all the stuff that we have to do. Anyways, for the brow routines, it's coming soon in one of those episodes for this series. So stay tuned and see you in a bit with brows. What a difference brows make. I feel like a completely new person. I can conquer the world. Look at that. Oh. For the last step for my base routine is powder. I apply powder for my whole face because this is a little bit on the sticky side. If I were to apply the contour, the powder contour, the bronzer, the blush, all my powder products, it's gonna be splotchy, it's gonna skip, the look is gonna be messy. So I need a smooth base for them to blend on. That's why I apply powder all over my face. And because I do my base before my eyeshadow as well, I like to powder before the eyeshadow, before I work on my eyeshadow, because if anything will fall out, just brush it away, because I have powdery, not creamy finish. It can just dust away. So I'm going to do that, and don't swipe back and forth, just stamp your powder in because you don't want to move your foundation. I try not to use a full-on matte powder for this part because I don't want the powder to suck the life out of my face, right? I just mattified the center, and this part I don't use mattifying powder. I try to find something not sparkly or glittery on the radiant side. I know now I look on the powdery side, but I will apply my face makeup, the rest of my makeup, and come back show you how to get rid of this powdery look. To get rid of the powdery finish over here, setting spray is your best buddy, and I'm planning on a video dedicated just for setting sprays. Stay tuned for that. So you just spray it. And you fan it out. And that's it. You got rid of the powderiness. Everything melts back in your skin, and it looks like it's your skin, but it's glowing and bronzed and all the good stuff. That's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful and enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And see you all in the next video. Bye!